Doing that dance, never looking back at it. Kinda hard to tell. Said she ain't a stripper, but I'm about to throw a sack at it. Look bad, bitch. Look like she up on the challenge. I'm rolling hard. I'ma do a thing like I said. Girl, you nasty. Oh, while we in traffic. You think you can manage? Cause I'm gonna do some damage. I'll tell you what I'ma do. While I'm hitting you. Said she ain't a freak, but I gotta do it back then. Get your free girl, tap on that man. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'ma do. Just turn while I'm hitting you. Yeah, let's go. This ain't what we going in. But this what we finna do. Go get your best friend. Then walk to my bedroom. We about to have a day. Then I'ma hit the get to the floor, yeah.
King and Company, it's Saturday, it's 12 p.m.-ish. And Central Standard Time.
Yes, indeed.
From this point on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that guy later. Yeah, we got a good action-packed show today.
All day.
Happy holidays and all that whatnot.
Happy holiday.
TV in the back.
Doc.
We got
Doc.
our backup co-host Journey in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We got Justin Kick It. We got
Bricks Montana.
We got
Gina.
We got special guest
Charles Bryson.
Yeah, big fan. Hey, you catching him out the
Special guest. I'm like, who that?
He said he didn't say no special ed. He said special guest.
I was just checking.
Exactly. Hell no. They ain't got the liquor in them yet.
As you know, we do interviews. As we know, we represent our beautiful city of St. Louis, Missouri. As you know, we're worldwide, interplanetary. I believe we got a couple astronauts tuned in out there.
All the way up there out of space.
So we got a distinguished gentleman here. A civilized gentleman.
Civilized.
Who that be?
Ooh, that one guy. Mr. Charles Bryson.
Okay.
Civil Rights Enforcement Agency. Director.
The Civil Rights Enforcement Agency.
Get that right.
You don't have nothing to do with no, what's that?
He flies the spaceship. He's not a passenger.
Urban League and nothing like that, do you?
No.
You don't have nothing to do with them?
That ain't me.
That'll be a separate.
That ain't me.
So if I talk bad about him, you ain't going to get mad or nothing like that?
I just don't say nothing.
No, okay.
He plead the fifth like
that
first time.
With they foul, hey, they fake as fuck too. Urban League just a bunch of motherfucking hustlers, dog. No faking. I'm going to keep it 100. They's a bunch of fucking hustlers.
Okay. Hey.
Yeah, we're going to get right into these questions. We're making our way around. So what exactly does Crea do?
Civil Rights Enforcement Agency, we enforce federal, state, and local fair housing, equal employment opportunity, and public accommodation law, rules, and regulations.
That's a lot.
Is that you mean slow down a little bit? Well, I've known it for the last several years, so there we go. So we enforce federal, state, and local.
Okay.
Civil rights in housing, employment, and public accommodation, or people with disabilities.
Oh, okay. So you make sure they get their shit, basically.
Yeah, basically. If they think they've been discriminated against, we are the people who do the enforcement.
Oh, okay. So that's what's up.
So when a person feels like their civil rights have been violated, they should contact you guys and.
As long as it's in the city, from the Skinker to the river.
Okay. So it's only
goddamn, the county, we losing out. Goddamn, always.
There's no civil rights enforcement agency in the county.
Of course not.
So why you won't be the first?
Because I don't get paid to be the first.
You get paid to be
feel that.
I get paid to be in the city,
I feel you on that. With somebody in the county, Pay somebody to do the same thing.
Give me a contract,
and you will come out there.
Well, it's two things. Number one, give me a contract or give my agency a contract. But number two, most importantly, they haven't passed the type of laws that they have in the city.
Oh yeah, you know this county. You know the county want motherfuckers to keep losing.
I'm not going someplace and try to reproduce what we do.
Most definitely.
And there's no laws that we can that affect
they
what we do.
They ain't gonna even help you in the long run. Goddamn me. I feel you on that.
That's
I feel you on that.
That's what we need all the help at, because I don't know, for some reason when it comes to a lot of things, they feel like the people in the county don't need help to me.
They do.
Even when it
that's real talk.
Even when it comes to the rent assistance,
it's a lot of things in the county. Okay, so magnet schools. I tried to go to a magnet school when I was, but magnet school laws. You have to be black from the city and white stayed at McClure.
They say it in McClure.
What choice do you have? I mean,
what do you
do? I mean, but I knew that it wasn't something like this when I was looking you up. That was in
those things on your side, right?
We have. So our team is just investigators. We have the we have the city of St. Louis. Our legal counsel helps us when necessary. But the vast majority of the cases we see really are not legal in their premise. But we've been trained on how to do that and how to figure out what is discrimination by federal, state, and local law, and what's not discrimination. Okay. So a lot of things that we see, I call hand-to-hand combat. These are folks who, I'm behind on my rent, but he or she landlord isn't fixing stuff, and so there's a dispute.
That's where the most come in, right there.
And so we have to figure out how do we do the agreement so that all parties are taken care of.
Oh, okay.
So the majority of it is more civil than if it's not criminal?
It's it's almost always civil unless somebody's claiming damages, and then it might be criminal. Depending on, I would argue the guy who took the door off the
and left them people.
I
seen this shit.
That to me was criminal. Now there are some things that the city has passed that have a criminal element to it. One is when you're a landlord and you try to evict somebody and you take all of their stuff out. That's a criminal element.
Yeah, that's stealing.
So that's one.
Now it is, right?
That's stealing.
Well, this goes back.
What about 20 years ago?
No. The law.
They me.
What about 20 years ago?
I think the law's about a year old.
Okay.
Oh, that's fucked up. So it wasn't considered stealing back then.
They'll put you out on the corner in a minute. All your
Everything
stuff
was
out
in
there.
the dark.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Or the people from the neighborhood steal it.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up.
And you just out of your stuff.
They stole.
We used to call them the scavengers, and they would just run. Somebody got put out, but they call their friends, and they run to that house and take everything they can find.
Oh, that's brazy.
Lousy.
That's straight brazy.
Yeah. But now, a landlord cannot put you out at all.
Not right now, no.
And so it's about a year old. Law's about a year old.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they can't set no landlord. They can't set nobody out right now.
And it's criminal because it's criminal because that's how the legislation was written. But it's also criminal. The police can be involved, or now maybe the sheriff's office can be involved. So if the landlord is trying to take your stuff out, you can call the police department and they should come out and stop the landlord or handcuff him, put him in jail, or the sheriff's office. Sheriff's office is trying to trade some of the duties with the police department.
So what is the legal way?
That's new.
So because
I thought the sheriff was the one that
put you out, right?
Well, that too, but that's an eviction, and so we try real hard to tell people, don't say the landlord is trying to evict me. The landlord is trying to put you out. An eviction means the landlord is taking you to court.
Exactly.
So let's use that term.
Okay.
So
you're trying to throw me out on the streets.
That's official. So the landlord is trying to evict me. I don't care what the landlord put in their letter. The landlord by themselves cannot evict you.
Okay.
The court must rule against you. And the sheriff's department is the one
that comes and serves that paper.
But they'll put the paper on the door, giving you 5 or 10 days or whatever. They'll say, this is when we're going to be back out to come get your stuff. So giving you time to do that. So even though, because I've heard of landlords running out the door and saying, the judge ruled against you. You got to move today, or I'm gonna get your stuff.
Yeah,
No, there is a process.
Hell no.
There is a process. So we get some of those calls
Super people up stealing their shit.
Yeah, so
That's exactly what they
doing.
doing.
We get some of those calls too. And no, you cannot be evicted by a landlord. The sheriff's department or the police department has to come out and remove your stuff.
Okay. That's right.
Yeah, I've definitely back in my younger days.
And so now
been a victim of stuff like that.
You say it's been you say a little over a year.
I think it's been about a year, maybe a little more.
But so the issues, like we already know we're gonna run into these issues because we always do. It's always gonna be somebody that doing what they want to do. Are y'all aware of? It depends on what area you live in, that the police and all of those people will still go. The sheriffs and stuff will still go against the tenants and still have their stuff removed.
No. And we've tried. We've talked to landlords. We've talked to tenant associations. We've talked to Board of Aldermen. We've talked to committee people trying to get the word out. I mean, it's hard to get the word out to a whole bunch of folks, but we've tried to do everything we could to say, hey, look, here's the process for going to court in the eviction process and what you need to do. One of the things that I was on a call last week about, in some states, they're trying to have it so that you automatically are represented by legal counsel the day you have to go to court. So we're thinking about what that might look like, because a lot of folks, again, I'm behind on my rent, but I lost my job. Can I pay half the rent? No, you can't pay half the rent.
They don't care. They want their money right now. No faking.
And when you go to
how
court,
do we do that?
They force you because they have a lawyer. So when you talk to they lawyer is kind of like forcing you and pimping you to make decisions that you really can't make. You don't know what's going on. You ain't never experienced this. That experience is like the craziest thing ever because you don't know what's going on.
That's why you walk in the door and there's somebody who's greeting you that you think is just taking information
to help you.
And so they sign this paperwork. Well, you've just now signed away your right to counsel, and you cited around the eviction process.
Oh, they don't tell you that though.
So no, they don't.
Oh, that's fuck shit.
The person that's greeting you is their lawyer.
That's that fuckboy shit.
Yeah. And so
flat out.
It's their lawyer.
That's that fuckboy shit.
We're trying to figure out how to intercede in that process so that when you go in court, that's not the first thing you see. You see a person who may have a badge on that says I'm with the court, or a badge on that says I'm with Crea or ACLU or somebody, and say, here's your right to counsel. Because you've just now given away your right to counsel without even knowing it.
Wow.
Damn.
I've been in
That's
situation.
fucked up.
I ain't know what was going on.
That's real fucked
People
up.
don't read their agreement.
No, they don't.
But what you felt
Signer, okay.
But it's not so much of that. Some people don't even know how to read.
Most
and
people don't know.
You know what?
That's why you best to buy your own
And
goddamn.
give your Uncle Dolomite a kiss. Well, what you want, baby?
Won't you tell me a story?
You want me to tell you a story?
Hell yeah, me too.
Yes, honey.
To get a bit, then cops are crying, and I'm smoking all this shit.
Come sit on my face, I mean laugh, and tell me what you want for Christmas.
I want a sleigh ride, a Christmas Eve sipping rum. She said I slide down the chimney and I pull a cum. A VCR on the set with number one on flicks. Give us a Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer to last long like an everlasting gun-stopper. Give me a drum for his gun, you'll be the bloody pumper. I dig a hole, crack it down by the North Pole. I wanna be having an extra talk, fucking in the snow. I took the drop to his knee, yeah, you know what's up. I never crack candy, king, pale, eat 'em up, and exotic now. Jump and dance.
impossible soup. But a nigga will eat some chicken and chillin', watermelon, cornbread, and some fruit loop. Now who's carrying out of my window? Smoking up indoor. Make a high no. Oh, get out my fucking yard with your carol. You I could get busy, examine like a. I'm on a rhymer. I'm done with the app and clan. We're making a shit, I'm slamming. It's Christmas time. The simple sound of Christmas make me jump. I'm the leader. Yo, what you want for Christmas? Yo, black, I want some cash. So I can buy some endo, chronic, and some hash. Yo, here comes the app band clan. Rock the bum bum. Merry motherfucking Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. And have a fucked up New Year. Merry motherfucking Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. And have a fucked up New Year. Merry motherfucking Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. And have a fucked up New Year. Come on. Merry motherfucking Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. And have a fucked up New Year. Merry motherfucking Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. And have a fucked up New Year. You
Y'all see all this?
Yeah, we back. We back. We got Charles Bryson up in
Charles Bryson up in this motherfucker.
We got the civil rights versus the uncivilized. So
He said
we're not versus, but we're strengthened.
Yes.
It's the verses like well, we'll talk about that in our second half, but we got Too Short and E40 as far as the verses.
Oh,
But
yeah.
They said it's more of a unity because the older generation aren't, besides Pac and Biggie, but there weren't a lot of feuds back then.
But they
Seems
said
now,
this ain't no feud. We just want to see people go up against each other.
Right. But anyway, either way, so we're gonna get back into our interview here. So what would be the most? What is besides the housing? What is the biggest? We won't call it a problem, but what is the biggest issue?
Civil rights issue, yeah.
See, as far as what else
in our area?
There you go. What she said.
Yeah.
No, not in our area.
What she said.
In this area.
I mean, that's still our area because
Civil rights is a broad issue.
St. Louis
Yeah,
City.
it is. But he
We
just said
still
we ain't
shop
got
in
no
the city.
we ain't
still
got nobody
come in
like
the
that
city.
For the county.
for the county.
He said
But
city,
I've lived
state,
in the
and
city
federal,
a lot
not
of times,
county.
so I mean, I've lived back and forth in the city
So
and the
what-
county.
But your ass in the county right now.
Right now,
You're
I
SOL. You're
am.
SOL.
I'm out of luck, shit.
All of us
But
are.
I was born out of luck. I'm from Kinlock. It ain't abnormal. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Shit. It ain't abnormal not to have. Once
Hell
Kinlock
no.
was over, it's not
It's a
abnormal
done
not to
deal,
have
huh?
anybody
So
on your
basically-
side in the county.
So basically, what we asking again, do you just do evictions? What all have you came across?
It's all sorts of stuff. We have, in terms of disabilities, we have people who don't have access to buildings. With people who don't have access to bathrooms in buildings. We have people who, when they're doing construction, they don't make sure that the sidewalk is clear.
Okay.
If you go in some of these areas where they have a lot of restaurants, what you see is the restaurant have sidewalks that are filled with tables and chairs, and people who have a wheelchair can't get around. And so they end up being out in the street.
Well, that's common fucking
they get
sense.
hit by a car.
That's common.
No, it's not common sense.
No, that's all downtown.
I was going to say that's Delmore.
They have a right.
Oh, they
the
need-
sidewalks are public property.
Yeah,
But
but they
it's-
still,
you
but
can't- you
if
can't
you know
block-
you got, if you
you
know
can't
you
block
got a
the
constant
side-
flow of people in
That's the
wheelchairs, you
Delmar
should have
Loop.
automatically made
But
something for them
Delmar's
people to
Central
get
West
by
End,
back and forth
yeah,
on.
Central West End,
Downtown, Delmar.
It's Lafayette Square. It's a number of places there. You have a large number because that's the big thing in St. Louis. We eat outside until it gets too cold to eat outside.
Right.
You know, and we start early in the year too. First, so we're gonna spend all
What's
of
up,
next
Drew?
week
That is a
really getting that
miracle.
word out to employers. 10 or more have 10 or more employees. You can't do that anymore.
But you guys only fight for the city, but this is gonna be. I mean, when it
y'all
comes time to
hear
that, nobody can do that. I mean,
for real, that's
a law,
huge.
period.
I would love to see it be a state law, but
It's
you
a
got a
city
lot
thing.
of folks that have
That wouldn't
difficulties with
that.
that.
Wouldn't be a state law.
And so
Because this state, I mean, the beliefs of people in the inner city is so different to the beliefs of the people that aren't in the inner city. And sorry, it's more of them than it is us. You can tell with voting. You can tell that we are a red state for a reason. They don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And they growing
Shit,
the
I'm
most
one of
of
them motherfuckers that don't give a fuck either.
I mean, but for real, it's the truth. The people
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
fuck,
smaller
real
places
talk.
that have,
Because ain't nobody gonna
the
control my life or what I do
population
anyway.
who
It's gonna
control
go
what the
on.
state
Shit.
does, they don't care about what inner city.
Because they ain't never
things
lived
and
that shit.
Stuff like
well, a
that.
lot of it is. Well, I'll tell you.
And they think it's
you
us.
have never seen poverty until you go down to rural Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
You know, down in Hayti.
And all, yeah.
Until you
it-
went
it-
to
I can believe that.
a party in a barn,
Hey, they
you don't
can't-
know nothing.
That's what they do down there.
Because-
They call it the Boo Hill.
Because they don't have. At least we have the ability to go get
Yeah.
resources.
They ain't got no resources.
They don't have any resources.
They got
down
to
there.
deal with it.
You know, and so we keep asking, why do they keep, especially around healthcare, why do you keep voting against your interest? You go back, earlier this year, where they were trying to have the proposition so that they had expand Medicare. The rural community voted it down.
Right.
Because they didn't want Obamacare in their neighborhood, but yet
They don't want the black guy.
but here they don't have health care, and hospitals and clinics
Or
are
nothing.
shutting
Right.
down in rural Missouri.
Because there's too
Yeah.
many beds right there. They're not full. Correct.
They ain't
Well,
got-
no, they would be full,
They're like prisons. If they don't have people in the bed,
but people don't have the money to go to a doctor, or they don't have.
That's crazy.
They don't have.
That's
They
crazy.
don't have any kind of health insurance.
Yeah, that's
so they're
crazy.
not going, and that's a problem.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, I don't know what it's going to take for them to vote their interest. When you see, my hospital's closing. In fact, because I had a woman on my podcast, this is how they do it in some of the communities in rural Missouri. Everybody gets on the bus at the same time.
And this blacks and
They
whites,
go-
right? We talking
they-
about the black and the white
Right.
people now.
They go to the
There
clinic
ain't too many
all
of us
together.
now. Come on.
No, there's a
They
lot of black
wait
people
for
down there.
everybody to
There's
get
a lot going down that way.
done
There's most
in the
definitely a lot of black people
clinic.
down.
And then they all get supposed to take care of the street.
See, that's the
It
BS
could be
in
the
the
city.
county.
Some are owned by the state, so you'd have to find out who owns and is supposed to take care of the street.
See, that's the
It
BS
could
in
be
the
the city.
county.
For
problem.
some of the major streets in the city, actually by agreement, are taken care of by the
Well,
county.
I'm in the Normandy area.
So,
So you know it's 32,000.
Nah, that's crazy.
municipalities.
Because I got a whole motherfucking car I can't drive just because of these rag-ass streets around here. No faking.
But you would so you'd
Look.
start out with the county.
Okay.
This
Ask
street
for
right
My,
here.
my car be broke down
And then-
trying to make it up this
And
street.
if the
This
street,
street
then
right
they'll
Because
tell
my
you.
rims is not going to handle
So you
that
can,
shit.
but remember, they have everybody has a way of trying to make sure you're the person who's blamed for your car
course.
and the pothole. So just know that, and they try to
I see
lengthen
you
it
too.
out for a long time.
And that's why I was
So,
saying,
yeah.
because we've
So
been
you would
complaining
start
about
with
this whole.
So you'd start. You live in Normandy, so you'd start with your Normandy City Council. So whoever the council
Yeah,
person
that's
is in your district that you live in, that's the person you would
The
start
crazy
out
thing
in.
is, about one of the aldermen women is in front of her house, and
Yeah,
I think she
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to stay there because she don't like nobody to park there. So, and I'm just amazed that she would let it stay there that long because
Hey,
she's one of the aldermen.
But you just said you only bringing it up because you hit it last night,
No,
right?
I've been bringing it up, but I'm pissed off even more because I hit it again.
But I'm talking, why would you hit something that you know that's been there?
For the simple
What you was
fact
you was
that
told
when
you must
driving
have fucked
home-
up.
No, I was coming from work. When you driving home and somebody else is coming down that side of the street,
You automatically
got to
gotta go-
Boom, boom. Hey, but I shouldn't have to do that.
No, you shouldn't. No.
Nah, I feel
And
you
I'm
though.
paying all them taxes.
Nah, I feel you on that
That's where
though,
you
real
start. You start with the
talk.
council person, and then
Straight
you go
up.
or start with the street department in Normandy.
Cause
And that's
she wanted to be right there because she don't want nobody parking in
But
front of her.
Hey,
They don't
I'm
have
saying the first pothole I hit and my shit break down out there, I'm suing it wherever it's at. I'm sorry.
Alright.
Because I ain't gonna maybe get my car back because somebody gonna come steal
you're
that
saying
motherfucker.
They don't have aldermen in the county.
Well, it
council-
depends. They're usually council people.
Council. is an
Some have.
equivalent
I think
of-
some have aldermen, but it's just a title.
So yeah, start
Yeah.
local. or
It
your
should just be one
neighborhood
big St. Louis
committee
thing
or
anyway.
something.
It should just be
I
one
just
big St.
wanna know
Louis.
what
It shouldn't be
my
no
options
county, no
behind
city. It
us.
just should be one St. Louis.
As long as
And everybody should get the same
Wait a
exact
minute.
same law.
Wait
That's a
minute,
lot
we
of
need to
money
talk
if you
about
break
that
an axle.
fail. We need
I
to
know
talk
that
about
is.
that. Because if the city police start acting like county police, then there's gonna be a problem. Now they can join.
I understand
if the
what you're
county
saying.
police start acting like city police.
Did they pass that?
Yeah, I
Did
feel
they
you on
pass the
that.
measure where they got
I feel you, but you saying 100 on that.
Patrol?
City, no.
That was
city
on the ballot last
City
time.
doesn't have to live where they patrol.
They do not.
The county,
Not now, they don't.
Well,
We were talking about
no,
that.
they
Well,
don't
it's been like
because
that.
they go all over. So it's not where they patrol. They have to live in the city, I believe, up to 7 years. But county people now can be, what the law is now. County people can be city police, and they
See,
can
that
stay.
was one of the
And
problems.
they can stay in the county now.
They can stay
Yeah.
in the county.
What I was saying. You could get a motherfucker from Lee May Ferry who
Yeah, I
ain't
like
never
that.
been in the hood a day in their life.
Lee
Lee Ferry is the hood.
They
though.
Yeah, I'm
have
just
no
saying.
local-
You know what the fuck you know what I'm saying. No, I'm
They
just
can
saying, you
live
know what I'm
any
saying.
fucking way.
That means you gonna get a motherfucker out there by Six Flags and make him a police officer.
But
like
we're
it.
one
In
of
the
the
city.
only we're
In
one
the
of
city.
the only cities that have that law.
I know,
And
that's
think
messed
about
up,
this:
I think.
if they
That's
stop,
crazy.
if they said, if the county said no more city folks, guess how many city folks would not have a job?
Say here be out
Because
of
a
it,
whole
huh?
bunch of folks in St. Louis City
Work in the
St.
county.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that shit's crazy.
So
around
if they
here.
really wanted to do that, and there's no reason for it, you know, in my opinion, it's not necessarily where you live; it's how you think and how you're trained. And so I don't necessarily care if you live in the city or you live in the county. Yeah, I think it's how you think and how you're trained.
I'm gonna make it happen regardless.
And how you're monitored.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it happen regardless.
I
No
think-
faking.
That people who have lived in the city and been around city people, black or white, who have lived around, have a more open mind when dealing with other city people than a person who was raised in Barnhart, Missouri. Or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously.
Really,
I would agree.
Briggs, that's
So what are y'all-
It's not even. It's not
Me,
even.
I don't want a white man from Barnhart, Missouri,
Exactly.
policing over my.
'Cause he ain't never been
You
in the
know what I'm
hood.
saying? Or because he ain't gonna
He ain't gonna
understand
stand. He ain't.
that man
In no form or
And
fashion.
That's the person that, because in the situations that we've seen here in St. Louis, a person who was policing in the,
That's
because
a whole
Ferguson may
separate
not
topic,
want to
though.
admit it, but Ferguson is the inner city. So a person from not the inner city was policing
Ferguson is a nice city
and
too.
don't understand
You got that bad name.
the person that they're policing. So I don't know.
Right, well, that's a whole nother topic.
No. Let me ask you this. Did you ever watch how many black police officers stood together with white police officers when they were talking about a
Yeah, because
blue
they
line?
some shit.
See,
Hey, I was asking him how you feel about that.
how do I feel about
No,
that?
I was asking him how they feel about that.
yeah,
Because you
but-
got to feel some type of way.
But here's the thing. You don't want to be a police officer at 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're trying to do something, and you don't know who's got your back.
Yeah, you
you
right
don't.
about that.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they
you right.
have-
So,
to do
so,
that.
so the blue line for them is life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because all of a sudden they'll turn their back
And
and,
they
you
get
getting your
fucked
butt
up. Yeah.
beat, or you getting shot.
And I believe that.
And they go, I didn't see
No
it.
police out. Hey, they don't
And
pay
And
enough
kill
money
each
for me to
other-
do
They
that.
kill each other every day.
I believe that.
It's like training
So
day.
I just,
Yeah,
but
you
to
ain't
me,
paying
it's
me
not
enough money
just
to do
the
all
white
that. I'm
police.
sorry.
The worst police that I've ever
up, Carl?
dealt with in my life, who treated me like the most shit, was a black female. So to me, it ain't just a white man, or it's the police in general, because that bitch was like across the motherfucking.
She just had a power struggle. She was having a
And
power
that's what it
struggle. You know what I'm
was. It
saying?
wasn't a white man
She
who
probably
was
got
with
beat
her
up.
who
She
was
probably got
straight
beat up going
tripping.
up through school and shit like that, and pumped and all
Until
that.
she saw my, you know what I'm saying? Before she saw, information on me or looked me up, she treated me like I was a crackhead.
Yeah, hell
You know what I'm saying?
no.
And so it's more, and that's what people are talking about now. How do you monitor the police department? In the city of St. Louis,
It's a,
Citizens
I'll-
Action
I'll
Bureau.
take
you laugh because you know that shit's a joke.
It's the oversight board.
It's a fucking
And
joke.
so the oversight board takes complaints from some residents in the city of St. Louis about what police do. And so they have hearings and they do those sorts
But they
of
don't
things.
do a goddamn thing
So-
to them police
So
officers,
is
though.
that y'all hardest challenges?
But they can only monitor. They can only advise the police department.
On what
they
to
don't
do.
have specific power to control.
That's why Kim came and got rid of a million of them motherfuckers when she got in office.
Well, no. What she did was she said, "I will no longer take your testimony around certain crimes.
Because you already on the streets is known as a foul motherfucking police officer.
Or you've turned in information that is inconsistent.
Exactly.
That's not true.
You's a foul ass police officer. Real
So are
talk.
those your most difficult things that you guys are going through when it comes to is it housing or is it the police department?
Well, we don't do the police department
There's plenty more
because it's kind of a
topics.
city agency, and we don't go at other city agencies.
Okay.
I would say housing probably right now,
It's your
but on
biggest
any
thing.
given day, it's going to be employment, especially
and housing.
when COVID first hit. People had it wasn't even about discrimination. It was
Right.
questions. It was information.
Right.
And in fact, they just put out EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, just put out something on the 16th that I got to read 2-3 more times to make sure I get it right. And it has to do with
I gotta look at
Like
it.
I did that
an
driver's
employer-
textbook.
At the end of the day, an employer can fire you for not taking a vaccine.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff that they have to do along the way.
And
It's
that's
gonna
the
be a
stuff
whole
that I
lot of
was
people
gonna
finna lose
ask.
their job.
That's the stuff that
It's
I
gonna be a
was-
whole lot of people gonna
Right.
lose their
I thought that
job.
was just the
No
healthcare
faking.
healthcare field.
I'm not
But even
taking
them, it's
shit
still not
they
right.
made in a year.
I'm not either.
I'm sorry.
I'm not taking shit until I know the
I
side
ain't taking
effects.
shit they made in a
So,
year.
no.
I'm
And
sorry.
they said, "Oh, we're talking about that," and they don't claim responsibility for the side effects.
Exactly.
And that's
So
the
our
part
second-
I wanted to
second
get
half
on.
of
I
the
wanted
show.
to ask.
That shit might cause cancer, any
Right, that's
motherfucking
That's
thing.
what I wanted to ask and speak to somebody about. What are my rights to not
Yeah, you said
take
that would be a
the shot?
federal right? A federal.
You just
right
better be on your own.
vaccine.
You better be your own boss.
How do you describe the
So
vaccine?
the bottom line is an employer has to go through a number of steps before they fire you. So if you have
my
Give you
law.
something to eat.
What was my right?
And that's a
That's why I don't work
You
with
fucked
no
up,
damn
Briggs.
I haven't read all
You
of it.
fucked up for
I'll give
that.
you my card,
Okay.
and you have to give me a couple days, and I'll have an answer.
You can put something on his mind.
Because that's what we've been so upset about, because it's like they was like, oh, the teachers this. I'm like, okay, we are teachers just because we chose to stay we have degrees, but just because we chose to stay with the smaller children and that y'all never closed down and stayed working, it's like we totally got left out. It was no extra money given out, really.
Right.
It was
You
none of that.
You were deemed an essential worker.
And how are we not essential workers? Because they actually even came to us and said that they was looking for certain people who, if you wanted to volunteer to keep the frontline workers' children.
Right.
And they was gonna pay us quote a little extra.
So they
I
gonna
don't
put-
know
give y'all
what
some
they
extra-
got.
They gonna give y'all some extra money, huh?
Just to keep their children, but they didn't give us no extra money to keep everybody else's children because they didn't close us down.
You're helping the parents
I'm helping everybody, but-
they can work.
Right.
Can't
Not
nobody work
everybody
if
can
we
bring
don't
their
go- if we
kids to
don't
work
work.
like I can.
Right.
So we didn't work.
Oh, you got some old bum ass parents that'll still leave their goddamn kids at home.
Yeah, we come to work
Shit,
every
all
day.
according to how old they is, you
So
got
we like, what am
I gotta make the money to pay for the house. What the fuck we gonna do?
I haven't read
Hell
it. It
no.
just came out a few days ago.
Okay.
But I'll read it over the weekend.
And should we be forced to take shots too? Because I mean, we.
Man, I ain't taking a motherfucking
want
thing
it.
that they made in a
Well,
year's time. That's
I mean,
just too
that is
quick.
where we're at. Where the thinking is, because masks kind of haven't worked, that people are gonna have to.
If masks work, no one will get sick.
Yeah, people have to be vaccinated.
Well, they need to stop promoting the motherfucking mask work then.
but
And that shit don't work.
I don't
It
feel
works,
like it works.
but-
You just
but
gotta
It
keep
helps
yourself clean.
A little bit.
Well, it does two things. Number one, it helps you, but if people aren't social distancing,
Yeah.
then there's a problem.
I'm
there.
talking about they even got the glass thing. They did this thing where they still sneeze. That shit floated over the glass, came down, and still went to the That shit is unstoppable. I'm sorry.
But the whole,
It's unstoppable.
but the thing that we speaking of is,
No,
why would you
it's
take?
no. I mean, everybody gonna have it the way they make
But
it
why
seem.
would you take a
Everybody should
vaccine
have
that
it.
you know nothing about? First they said it causes Bell palsy.
Side
Butt
effects,
don't
man, I'm
bleed, your
talking about.
eye gonna
You
fall
gotta
on the
listen
floor.
to the
No,
side
I'm
effects. What
good.
that shit
No,
do?
I'm not.
Real
I'm
talk.
Anyway, we'll be right back.
Anyway.
We gotta take another break.
Two
Let's keep
heads,
it company.
salute, world.
Yeah, I be wanting to know my rights because I always tell them I be at work. I say,
No.
Oh, yeah! It's that time of year again! Kool-Aid Man, you ready for Christmas? Oh, yeah! Yeah! All I really want for Christmas! All I really want for Christmas! All I really want for Christmas. All I really want for Christmas. All I really want for Christmas is everything on my list, baby. Hey, all I really want for Christmas. All I really want for Christmas. All I really want for Christmas is everything on my list, baby. Hey, oh yeah, 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 oh 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 yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry motherfucking Christmas.
Merry for Pinky. Merry Christmas for Pinky.
Merry Christmas.
See, we didn't have cool Christmas songs back in the day. Oh yeah, Christmas.
I want to hear
Read some
Santa
Jingle
Claus want
Bells.
some love and got put some blues on.
She saw Daddy.
That's
She
what,
saw.
that's what it say. The cool Christmas music to me.
That man was like, calm down. I
Man,
was
don't
like,
too low.
and the office right there in Buffalo.
You think you know, but you
Yeah,
just
I'm
don't
the
know.
last
I'm
question,
sorry.
y'all. If I got it right, I'll pass. If I got it wrong, fuck. I was sitting there like, I was like, mother. He was like, ma'am, calm down. I was like, mother. Then I got out, it said, I jumped up. I was like,
Hell yeah,
and then I went to do the
goddamn, man.
road test. I bumped every stop sign.
Oh, man. Because you driving like you think
Man,
you
that
driving
man
on the
talking, he
street.
thought so. Yeah, you bump another stop sign, you gonna stop. I said, look, man, I'm 40-some years old. I said, what Missouri known for?
Bumping
stop
stop
signs.
signs.
I said, quit playing with me. That man could do nothing.
I would have flunked your ass.
He say something
I
wrong
still
with
would have
you.
flunked your
Nah,
ass.
fuck me, I
That
paid.
part I
I'd have
had
flunked
high.
your
He was like-
I drove with Warren for about 15
And
years,
I
so
was
I was
driving
good. I was excellent
Hell
at the test.
nah.
He drove with one hand. He said, I put
Girl.
both hands on still.
My big
I
ass
was
sit
like,
up there with driving both
I was
hands
like,
on the
I
wheel.
can't.
See, I never had that freedom to
Yes.
really drive crazy because I've had warrants since I literally started driving. So I've always drove correctly.
Damn.
So that test, I got like a 98. He was like,
Oh,
I've never
man.
had someone score that high. I was like, oh, baby, I drive like 5-0 behind me at all times.
Well, see,
So it was awesome.
see,
Hell
that's
no.
why I guess Gina has to dodge potholes all the time.
Hey.
Why you swerving?
That
I'm
motherfucker.
just dodging
Why I'm
potholes.
That motherfucker said she almost tore her suspensions
I
up.
almost told that motherfucker said, boom, boom. I just sat there and cussed for like 20 minutes.
I
She was
know
like,
how you
this shit
feel,
called all right.
B.
I was like, if it's not.
I know how you feel.
paid
No
for it.
fake it.
You
paid for it. Call Elliot. It's a severe. He came and did one pothole. That motherfucker had. They had a whole motherfucker
That's
tire
a
around it.
lot of money to be trying to pay for your
They
car.
put a whole tire around the pothole on the ground. Man, I was like, what
They
the
got
fuck?
those big concrete circles and everything.
No.
They had to put one of them on
St.
there.
Louis
They put
streets
the
got
big
them
barrel
motherfuckers
up.
sink in.
And it fell in. They put a
Yeah.
barrel.
Fire tracks.
The streets sink in.
The barrel is just the
Yeah.
hole.
St.
That's how
Louis-
much the hole
yeah,
went
I
down. The
believe
barrel
that.
is how it was up there. The barrel was sink. Not a whole barrel is down.
Down
in
up in
the
there.
hole.
That motherfucker steady sinking.
I believe it.
But y'all want to come give me a ticket in my
That's
grass?
a police department issue.
Hell
Turns out
no.
the streets department goes-
Real
turns out the
talk,
street department
bitch.
goes
I'm
from there.
going for them. I'm serious because I
But
believe
that's-
my car got some
Wouldn't
damage.
that be
So
a
how's-
civil rights issue though? If in a
I
higher
would say,
higher gravity,
Civil rights is more personal, I guess.
but
right?
it would be because if in the hood they not fixing the shit, but in the not hood they are.
Well, if you want to look at it like that,
Community.
yeah. Yeah, you looking at it like that, yeah, that. You
Well-
most definitely on that. If you go up Mabel right now, them same pop holes when I was a baby, it's the same
The
pop
same
hole that's
ones,
going
they
up
look
Kinlock
like the
and
young
Mabel right
Grays
now.
So
No faking.
I was
Well,
I was
Kinlock
a
has no
punk.
revenue.
Exactly. No, I'm talking even when they
This
did
was-
have
Oh, yeah.
revenue,
Yeah, they now
it's the
have-
same fucking pop
This
holes
was
going
when
up Mabel.
We had some.
No
You know,
faking.
I think Kinlock has an alderman, and I think they only have one, but that's.
No, yeah, they shouldn't have nothing.
He
I
on some
should
shit,
run
too.
Kinlock.
Go on.
He
They'll
on
vote
some
for
shit,
you.
too.
They'll
I
vote
should
for you.
run that motherfucker. Yeah. No
It's about who
faking.
you know. They'll vote for you.
Hey, I'm very known, so it's all good.
I'll be your Secretary of State, dog.
Bricks, we run our old hood, goddamn me. No faking.
That'd be the you'd be the block captain.
Man, I don't want to be the block
The
cat. I
only
just want
thing is we have to move back to that motherfucker.
we want to put the money.
So-
I want to.
so
we want to
look.
put the money back into the hood.
So I want to get
I
back
would.
into the topic. So you said first maybe housing, second maybe employment, third was jobs.
But part of it is what's going on at the time. And so we will get a lot of questions about housing, and then they'll drop off the face of the earth.
Wow.
But we'll get a lot of calls about employment. And so it really is what, we're trying to think, well, what's going on at the time? Because it's not just our advertisement, it's not just our podcast. There are other things that are going on in the community that trigger where people's line of thinking.
Disability was those are the top
disability.
three, I guess.
Disability. Well, nationally, oddly enough, nationally, the number one civil rights complaint is disability, and it goes across all other. So there's race, there's sex, there's gender, there's religion, there's color. I'm missing one or two. But disability, regardless of all those other issues, disability is number one.
Because
the white people get theirs before the blacks and everybody else.
No, it's just disability.
Or they don't want to give it to somebody like that or something.
But again, it can be anything. So think about disability. And I tell people, sitting here today, I have two disabilities. If you figure them out, let me know.
You smoke that shit.
So that's part of the issue is disability covers everything and everybody.
Okay.
Whether it's sight, whether it's hearing, whether it's
mental, everything,
all of that. And so some of the disability community, being deaf, all of that fits in that category. And so you can be black, you can be white. If you're deaf, those things don't matter. You're deaf.
Yeah, that's a disability all day long.
Yeah, so that's the number one issue now.
Any disabled person can be anything. So.
Yeah, and so that's now nationally that is, and I think we get more inquiries about being disabled, but we don't get cases.
Mental instability is probably your number one, probably. It should be.
Well, physical.
It should be.
Physical.
But we get a lot of questions. We get a lot of conversation about. But we got a lot of people who just choose to live where they live and decide not to.
Exactly.
They don't
mental
come in for
instability.
It's easier for them.
Mental.
Not to go
Mental.
Well,
that ain't got nothing to do with physical. That's mental.
Well, we were speaking about that last week when we was talking about the homeless and trying to get help for the homeless, and we were speaking of that. And like we say, when people don't realize what a lot of people go through. You have to know everybody's story is different. And when you going through certain things, like you say, it could be a mental thing, a physical.
Going to a shelter. Many don't want to go in a shelter for a variety of reasons. They're scared to go in a shelter. They like their freedom. They're too proud.
Oh no, you shouldn't be too proud not to be out on the streets.
Concerned about
I'm sorry.
That's
once again,
shot or
that's
killed or
mental
whatever, or robbed.
instability.
And so a lot of things come into play why people don't go in a shelter. And so they keep trying. So there are people 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. They'll try. Do you want to come in a shelter for a night? You want to come in a shelter for? And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they will. Sometimes they'll go like now. They'll go into the warming bus.
Right, but not the
But
shelter.
see, that's what I was talking about last week.
But they won't go into the shelter. They'll go on a warming bus and stay for a
And
little
that's
while.
what I was telling people. Until you been there, like I was telling them, nobody never knew I lived in a shelter. Nobody know my reason for going there. It wasn't because I was on drugs. It wasn't because I was being beat. Like I told them, I left St. Louis to better myself. My baby was really sick. The state I was in, Michigan, they didn't have children's hospitals. So I knew to take care of my child.
You got to come back
I
home.
knew I need to come back to St. Louis,
Right.
where it's 2 children's hospitals that's best around the world to bring my child back so I can get the medical need that I need for my child. But like I say, when I left her, I left everything. I went about one way. I wasn't planning on coming back, not no time soon. So when I came back, I didn't have nowhere. Okay, yes, I could have probably went to family. I could have went out there. But basically, when I came back, I was considered homeless because I didn't have nowhere to go.
Right.
So like I told them, I went into this shelter for women and children. And when I say, I always been a right fighter. I mean, as a kid, like I told people, I never got whoopings or none of that, but I spoke my mind, so I got popped in the mouth because you didn't talk to grown people. But anyway, I found myself speaking up for people, and that's one of the reasons why now I want like a homeless shelter. I want something like that, because when I say these people talk to these people, like, I mean, you would have these people in here talking to these 40, 50, 60-year-old women like they was something in it, like they was 2 or 3 years old. They would cuss these people. They would shun these people. You ain't getting none of you know. I mean, it's so horrible in some of these places where you supposed to be getting help from, that even though I didn't accept it, and I was one of the quote better people that got moved up, had rooms on their own, and then they eventually sat around the round table and said, okay, she's we feel like she gonna work and do what she need to do. Move to the Hope House where you had your own house and they help you and you move out, get vouchers or whatever. A lot of people never made it because they broke them mentally. They broke them emotionally. But me, myself, being one of the strong ones and got through it, I would never want to live that again.
I think they're trying to do a better job, and I think the continuum of care, because they monitor what's going on, and they monitor.
Are they
the
doing better
complaints.
now?
And they monitor the complaints. In fact, we had a complaint. I had a complaint I guess a week ago on a Wednesday night about a transgender male to female could not get into a shelter. So we're reviewing those policies.
If they
and
weren't
gives us
married
opportunity.
or if they weren't married.
No, it was a single.
So they wanted to get into the women's facility.
They tried to get in a women's facility. I still don't know all the things that happened, but I know that we're going to have a training that comes up where we have that conversation. And so I think they're trying to do a better job, and they're trying to up their game around making sure that people get the help they need, and get rid of some of the staff people.
Because they horrible.
Who are demoralizing the
they
folks.
They make them people feel so
I think it's
bad.
their training too, though.
I
They
wouldn't
they
go
probably
back.
don't get trained.
If I ever end up, I'd rather live on the street I would rather, and I was, like I said, I was one of the ones that really didn't get dogged out because I stood up for myself and wasn't going to have it, and I did what I had to do to leave, but I would never go back. If something happened to me and I would rather sleep on the street.
And a lot of people feel that way.
Hey, that's why I was telling people with them houses. They get to stay in there for like 5 or 6 months, teasing them people. Then you make them leave because if
you work the
tiny
program.
house guy too.
I work
straight up.
You
don't tease nobody like that, though, Gina.
I worked the program and I got my own place.
But they know going in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So they know 3, 4,
They
5
not tricking
months.
you.
That's why they'd rather stay on the streets.
Well, that'd be them. You got to help me.
But some of them want.
Man, the
to
majority of
go
them
through
motherfuckers
that
gonna
and
rather
get
stay on the
something
streets. I'm
and
telling
don't-
you.
Let me help the person
No
that wanted to
fake
help.
it. The majority of them gonna want to stay on the
Because
streets.
that's different
second
than
one,
a
you're
shelter.
paying.
You got your own house.
And I
where
told you
in
that
by
10 City is
yourself.
still up, ain't it, Bricks? On the side of the highway where I was talking about.
Wasn't the tiny houses coming to St. Louis? See what
Yeah,
y'all
but
about?
they're going to be over
Very
there
soon.
off of Jefferson.
But those are
Jefferson.
temporary.
How you doing,
Those
Miss
are
Latanya?
temporary. There's a temporary, but it allows, because of the way
It's
they're
only
going
for
to be doing.
What's up, Renee?
No, that's a different one. So there's two different things going on.
That's from Kansas City, I think,
and-
right?
Yeah, the Kansas City model's coming to St. Louis for veterans, but then there also is a there also is a tiny village strictly for folks who are homeless.
Okay.
But it allows them, and that's off Jefferson and Delmar, I think, on that corner where it used to be the RV park.
Okay.
That's the one that's supposed to be for the veterans.
No, the veterans are going to be off Grand.
Oh, the veterans going to be off Grand and
They're going to be
others
Grand
gonna be off-
Grand and
By the veteran hospital?
no, it's veteran. It's like Teresa,
What do you wanna
I
talk?
think.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So I think
We're being destructive.
we started to help women, but we help everybody. But it started as us trying to uplift and empower us as women so that we can stick together and do things and know that we can make it, so we focus on all of those things. So I be looking for different people to get involved with, because we pass around all information that we need. If it's something we can't help you with, then we want to know where to send you that you can get the help you need. We don't leave nobody out. I mean, we out here, we always networking to find out what we can send the people to get what they need. So I'm always looking into this, and a lot of people that we do help
Tastes
come from the
good.
city. So I'm just interested in everything I need to know, because we can help the people in the city. So we need that, and then we'll work on the county thing, because like I said, the people
We
in the
losing
county
in the
just
county.
lost.
Exactly.
So
Because he can over here keep on pounding in the city.
So there is no equivalent out.
We
I guess,
losing.
in the county. There's
We
no
losing in the
equivalent to
county,
what you
basically.
do out-
there's no equivalent Crea.
So,
in
is
town.
that's why you gotta
how
be
would
over-
they-
you gotta
how
go
would they
take over.
about-
I ain't taking over nothing.
How would they go? He has it off on his plate, okay? But how would they go about? I guess that would be a local thing too. They would go about creating
Hell no.
some type of resource that you
Yeah.
provide for.
The
St.
county
Louis
would have to
County
pass
and
the
Crea.
ordinances, and then they would have to, in their ordinances,
gonna happen.
they would have to establish a civil rights.
So who we got to go
civil
through?
rights-
You say, so you
It
got to
ain't
go through
gonna
find somebody to be able to
Sam,
hire
Sam
you up.
Page or one of the
Oh, hell
one of
no.
the
It ain't
one,
gonna happen.
one of the county counselors.
Because
Wow.
when people,
You the only one.
And Sam Page is a
If you do a
Democrat.
county
And he a
wide, yeah.
Democrat too.
just because in your part of the county you see a lot of Negroes, that is not the county. the county is still majority, not Negroes.
Yeah, because you talking about all the way out there by
'Cause
Six Flags, Eureka,
West
and all
County,
that. Yeah.
it's South County.
St. Louis
That
County is
all-
huge.
So please don't ever mistakenly.
St. Louis
and
County
think
usurps the city, y'all. If
that
y'all don't know, we usurps the city.
it would be an easy thing to pass those ordinances and different things like that in
No, it's
the
not
county.
because of the Great Divide. They were talking about the city-county merger. So are there two different? I mean, is St. Louis two parts?
Yeah, it is. It
Always
is.
have been.
So people in the county don't have the same problems as the people in the city.
Oh, they do.
No, it's the
They
same
do.
problem.
You
Right.
just
don't have nobody
But
help
it
you.
doesn't.
You don't-
it doesn't. They don't have the
What
same
is you complaining
solutions.
about? You can't
There's no
complain
place
about
to
nothing.
go to get help, so you don't
Right.
know. There's no quantifier of how many
What you
problems
complaining
there are.
about? You
Right.
just wanna
And
stand up.
if there's no place to go and complain, I just might as well not
Complain, because who want to complain too?
Okay.
And then if it is some place to go to complain, but you ain't got nobody
Bad
doing
guy.
nothing, it still don't
Like, y'all
matter.
laugh at me.
Because as somebody who grew up all my life
What
in
it do?
Ferguson,
What it do?
how can you complain about how the police are treating
You a
you to the
motherfucker.
police? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you're complaining to
Blue Lives Matter, bro.
a mayor who used to be the police. You know what I'm saying? Or this who this or this.
Yeah.
So we've never that stuff went, but also the level that it may have gotten after I grew up, it wasn't that when we was. I mean,
Well,
shit.
you don't know that it wasn't.
I
Because
mean,
there are a
it
lot of
wasn't
things
that in
there-
our life.
There are a lot of things that now come to light that surprise people that they've been going on
Right, been
for
going
20,
on.
30, 40 years.
Oh, I didn't know a lot of stuff
Yeah.
because my family.
Enlighten me.
My grandmother was my grandmother and grandfather was the first African American family to buy a house in Ferguson, right where they did. Right, so my mother was the first group of black kids to go to McClure.
Jennings, that was
I
back. Jennings
knew
back in
then,
the
and
day.
we
Back
was
in the
little
day.
kids.
Mo
We knew
Ferguson.
then that Jennings was not. We did not
You
mess
did not
around.
stop.
Nah, no more. It ain't like that no more.
Straight on through.
You can go throw a fucking block party in that motherfucker now.
Right.
I mean, right now the police ain't even out.
So what are you?
You have a
so,
block party in that motherfucker.
Okay,
shit.
so what are you basically? You personally, what are you basically working on right
About
now?
3 or 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna interject on that, but yeah, we're gonna get a quick one here. So I'm trying to make the list going. So I guess we'll go with the number 4. We have housing, unemployment, disability, and what would be, I guess, another common problem that besides those 3, I guess, what would be like your 4th kind of
Be quiet.
They down there kicking it.
What would be the 4th?
Well, I guess those
Mental
three,
instability.
I'm just trying to. Yeah,
I think
how
mental
would-
instability should be number 1.
Well, that's disability.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a mental
considered under
disability.
Yeah.
Mental disabilities.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
we need
I think
more
that should be
training.
number 1.
We
I
need
think
more
that should be number
training.
1.
We need more training for people because mental disability people don't want to admit they have a problem.
Exactly.
And
That's what
a
make
lot
it
of them
even
don't know
more
they have
fucked
a
up.
don't want 'em up,
Gina,
especially in the black
Gina,
community.
a motherfucker know when they got a problem now.
Everybody
No,
know
they
that.
don't.
They
No,
don't want to admit it.
no.
Exactly.
No,
No, you
they
don't.
don't.
If you
think
mentally,
that
you
you
don't.
Oh,
got the
if a
problem.
motherfucker steady keep telling you, goddamn it, you crazy,
They
nigga,
still
something
don't
wrong.
believe it.
But that's
Is a motherfucker calling you crazy every day you wake up out the day?
Motherfuckers call me
They
crazy.
still
And I
They still been in their
Hell
mental mind.
no.
They don't think
Yeah.
it's them.
Hell
They think
no.
it's you. The person, all of the people that are calling them crazy, they crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
you right. I
That's
feel
what
you.
they believe.
But I'm talking about if I wake up every day and a motherfucker calling me, hey, you crazy.
But if you got some
motherfucker.
issues going on, you're not gonna.
No, you have
You
to
crazy.
admit it, though. You have
Nigga,
to
you
admit
got to
Well,
you
yeah.
got to ask yourself
That's
now.
like an
Is something
alcohol
really
or
bad?
drug addict.
There you
Motherfuckers
go.
don't
admit you have a
They ain't got
problem.
to. I'ma tell their ass they
But they
fucked
They
up.
don't
Believe
say
it.
it's
Real
your
talk.
ass. The motherfucker telling
Oh, they
you.
can tell me I fucked up all they want, but I'm
That's
I'm
how
fucked
it
up.
is.
'cause
Take another
I'm
break.
gonna let a motherfucker know that they
We
fucked
might-
up in the head.
We might
Real
be going
talk.
overtime today. We got Charles Bryson in there. We got some stories. Still having a good conversation.
Hey, they should give away all free checks for motherfuckers who fucked up in the
We'll be right
head.
back
Someone
after
wanna
this
take
track.
I'm sorry.
I
Go
know
get
people
the
have
check.
mental illness when you
Give me
take
a
a
couple.
check.
I'm sorry.
So crazy, they gonna say, I ain't
Hallelujah, kids, hear this. Come on, while I lace it and try to prepare this for y'all. Oh well, I got a story to tell about a dude I met once, miserable as hell, and how grouchy he was, and how slouchy he was, and when he talked, you smell his breath, and how frowsy it was, and how drowsy we was. And if you daydream, I'll give you a pitch. Now let me tell you about Mr. Grinch. Every holiday season while we was young, growing up, everything be cool and Mr. Grinch show up, always plotting and scheming to ruin everybody holiday season, and never had a justifiable reason.
I am the mean when they call me the Grinch. I tried to live with the given, but it was making me winch. I've seen happy kids with gifts, Merry Christmas, they shouted. I stole the gifts and there was nothing anyone could do about it.
Mr. Grinch, you really are a hero.
Yeah, I think I do agree.
Suddenly as a cactus, you're as charming as an hero.
Busta Rhymes, Jim Carrey, Mr. Grinch, just me and them all. He was an angry little dude with a horrible attitude, and he'll show you some gratitude if you let him ruin your mood. Everybody knew about it from here to Baton Rouge. He remind me of the crazy lost cousin of Mr. Scrooge. Word to mother.
Yes, it's my favorite game. You let me take all your gifts and just yell my name. After that, I'll be on my way just to return and successfully ruin your day.
Okay, for the record, what the hell made you like that? So grouchy and grimy, how everything about you was whack. Hey, yo, I know you all can tell from all the talk from his mouth. You better set some bear traps around the gifts in your house. State of the art surveillance just to give it a boost. You sleep with 1 hour with a couple wild dogs running loose now. He's definitely not the dude you could trust. He'd be bouncing with all your goods and leave you biting the dust.
Mr. Grinch, you really are a hero. Suddenly as a cactus, you're as charming as an hero. Mr. Grinch.
Stop acting so uptight, man. Shake it off, man. Grinch come around, safeguard your things. You better safeguard your money, safeguard your blings. You gotta safeguard your crib, safeguard your G's. Gotta safeguard the stash and the car keys. You gotta listen up to what we talking about here. It was better when the Grinch was never coming around here. Time after time again. Never mind, he already took the liquor out your honey again. He already quick to try again. It's still a gift's another way and give you all a different style again. While you stacking and you trying to swell, you best believe Mr. Grinch scheming. Duke stay conniving. And he stay scheming when you thinking he not looking over your shoulder, peeping everything that you got.
Busta Rhymes, I will get you too.
Relax, Duke, you need to chill. Something wrong with you. About one of the biggest cats I think I ever met in my life, man. Mr. Grinch. You crazy, man. Mr. Grinch. You crazy, man. Something wrong with you, man. For real, man. Busta Rhymes. Jim Carrey. Worldwide exclusive, y'all. Happy holidays, y'all. Happy holidays, y'all.
I want to give a shout out to the west side of Whoville.
Yeah, we back.
You didn't hear the...
From the west
Hey,
side
big bro,
of
we're about to
Whoville.
go live there, guy. Hey, we're live kicking company. What
We're
the hell's
live.
going on up in here?
Hey!
We got the one and only Charles Bryson involved.
Yes!
We get some civil information going, only if you're in the city.
Yeah, we haven't even dipped into the other half of our show yet. So I was
I'm about to go to the
before...
car and get some tequila.
Before we need another
Oh,
round
if
here.
you're in the city.
We're gonna need another round. Let me see.
What?
So before the break, so I was trying to get into, I guess, the number 4 as far as issues.
You know what?
I guess there's
well,
so many. I mean, how do
So
we?
the number one issue is lack of information.
Okay,
And-
right. Always.
And I think that's the thing that
as
we
far as
try
your
to do.
side, as far as the consumer.
Well, just in
side.
general, both, and because our side is really both the consumer and the employee and the employer, the tenant and the landlord, the disability person who has a disabilities and the institution they're trying to get into. We had a situation where a woman was claiming disability. She was not.
Disabled.
She was disabled.
You silly as a ball.
But she wasn't disabled
Enough.
by her standard to get some particular service.
Okay.
And so we had to mediate that situation because if we walked away from it, she wouldn't have got anything.
Okay.
And so for us, it's always a matter of, so we don't just say civil rights. Sometimes we go to a human right element.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not a law, but I'm going to try and take care of the situation. So we do that occasionally. And so this particular situation, we were able to mediate and got an agreement out of all parties.
That's what's up. That's what's up. He a Superman.
Cause I be needing all this. Yeah, we gonna have to link.
You don't
up
stay in the
with some
city, so
parties.
it doesn't
It
matter.
don't matter. I help.
He
people in
can't
the
help
city.
you at all.
You forgot about my organization.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
for your
okay, yeah,
organization.
you right.
Okay.
You show
I said
right.
Charles is off the clock
You
today.
show right.
He ain't never.
You
he
show
ain't never-
right.
My organization, I need all the help.
You
I
got
can
you
get.
another needy family. Is that right?
Did you send me the donation?
Who?
You. You was gonna help me last week. I didn't get nothing in W3 though.
That's fucked up. Hey,
you started
you
off
wrong
in
for that
social
shit.
No.
What
Real
did you start
talk.
off in?
So I started off in homeless. No, actually, I started off working in a political campaign, and from there, I went into homeless services, and then I was director of a Head Start, and then after that, I was director of a Youth and Child Center in Peoria, Illinois. Came back to St. Louis, and worked in state government first, and now local government.
Oh, he been there and did all that
You've
day.
always been in there.
All day long.
helping hand,
What's up,
as
Andy?
far as-
I've always tried to be, yeah.
When did you figure that out? I guess growing up, how did you figure out
I
this?
didn't. It figured
Hey,
me
Mom,
out.
what you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, because if you ask me what I want to be to grow up, we wouldn't be here today.
Right.
But I think it worked out well for me. I'm excited about what I do every day.
Damn real.
I come to work every day.
You be
I
happy.
come to work on the weekends because people got my phone number and they'll call me about a particular issue, and I
Your
Try and help.
personal number or the office number?
both.
Oh, so you get.
Oh, it's that serious.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I tell people
And
It's that serious.
and his type of.
Yeah.
when you start trying to help people and do all that, people don't need help doing business hours. People need help
The
doing
most,
all
the
hours.
most emergency help
It's
is
after
during-
hours,
yeah.
right? At the business hours. And when you the type of person that in these fields, it have to be your passion, and you have to be real about it, because that's how you get things done. If you
All day long.
only, I feel like if you only doing it on the business part, you're never gonna get things done, because, like I say, stuff have to be done.
But that's for
past
anything you
business
do.
hours.
You got to have love for what you do.
And that's
Yeah.
why I pick a job that I know
Love,
that
you
will
gonna love
only
that.
call me
Yeah, because if you get a job that you don't love,
Motherfucker,
you
yeah,
gonna quit that motherfucker
real,
eventually.
Real life
Shit.
ain't 9 to 5. It's
Hell.
5 to
Right,
9.
yeah,
Like a
right, there you
motherfucker.
go.
But-
And it's all the time.
Say they up early, way before some
And it's
damn
all the
nine.
time.
Goddamn.
And I mean 5 p.m. to
Yeah,
9
9
a.m.
a.m.
Yeah,
I feel you on
Right.
that one,
That's when real life
shit.
That's
starts.
when real
Damn
life
real.
starts.
Yeah.
And you so
How long have you currently been in your position?
I think 6 years.
Oh, okay. That's what's
yeah.
up.
So
Hey, I got the hookup just in case I ever move to the city.
So how many people
now,
on
he
your
the real deal.
He the
on
real
your
deal.
team?
there's 4 of us. There used to be 6, but due to budget cuts last year or this year,
2020 was a bitch.
We're down to 4. We hopefully will boost up a little bit next year.
So it's for
It get-
investigators.
No, it's 1 investigator, 1 deputy director, 1 director, and then we have maybe he had a bad day or she had help you because it's not a civil rights case, but on the human
put
rights
someone
side,
else.
we might be able to assist you and
Or
provide
at
a
least
resource.
lead you somewhere.
So where do people come to see you guys?
No, they don't come no more because of COVID.
But I'm
So
just- yeah.
we're in the Carnahan building downtown.
Oh, okay.
Carnahan
But we do,
building.
they don't let
Is that the
anybody
jail?
in. So
Is that the jail?
no, that's next door.
What you say? Is that the
So
jail?
they can
Misbehave.
They can call us. They can send us an email. They can send us, information over the phone, whatever, and then we will follow up and investigate for them.
Okay.
Once there's a determination that, and again, we have a lot of people who they will even file, but according to law, you have to sign. They won't sign it. And we chased somebody down for 6 months who clearly was discriminated against. This wasn't even, we had to no. According to what you said and presentation you had about what
Wow,
you
and they let it go.
said, we were clear that this was probably discrimination. No,
He had a
we
warrant.
closed him out.
He had a warrant.
We had to close him out.
Say he had a warrant, huh? Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's something that people are
Said.
scared of. I'm not
Real
gonna lie.
talk.
It was a lot of times that I was supposed to do things that I didn't do things when I had a warrant because I thought they was gonna be behind that line.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Finna catch me and have me on True TV
Yeah.
and shit. I mean, so that's
Hell
real.
nah.
And all I had was traffic warrants, and I'm thinking,
So
you know
don't
what I'm
nobody just don't want to be locked
saying?
up.
No, it
That's
ain't
all.
on my ass.
And that's the whole thing that we saying. You got to help us help you, even though we don't stop fighting for people and fighting doing what we do because that's what we do and it's our passion. But on the thing that you were speaking about, don't tease, whatever. Like I keep saying, you have to want to do it. They did all of it. You came in and asked these people for this information and to help you and doing that, and they told you that yes, you did this, and they did all of this work for you, and they went behind and they hunt you down, and you still didn't sign off. We can't help you if you don't help yourself.
Oh, of course.
If you come to us for help,
I wouldn't try to help no
motherfucker
motherfucker thing trying to help themselves.
and then you don't help
You want me to do all the
then
footwork.
you a lost cause.
Then you reap the benefits of
So
all the
we
shit.
got to move to the next person we can help. They go with the tiny house.
Right.
They go with
Right up.
everything.
That shit have pissed me
And so,
off.
after 6 months, we close the case out.
Right.
And we send them a closure letter.
That's sad.
Because we can
And
do
then,
anything.
can only
and
do
then
so
I bet
much.
you half of them, once they receive that closure letter, be calling like, what?
What?
Did you close?
Too late now.
Well, we had one interesting that came up where filed for discrimination. We did all the paperwork. They moved, and they didn't tell us they moved.
Wow.
And so
We had no other way to get a hold of
we
them.
couldn't find them for several months. So we closed the case out. I don't have time for that.
We don't have time for that
Yeah, you
bullshit
went-
y'all be out there playing on and shit.
If they're not
Time
serious
is
about it,
valuable.
If you
put your time and
update,
effort.
Time is
if
worth
you
money.
update your
Real
address for
talk.
your EBT, you got a case, you supposed to update that address too.
What we find is people are aggravated at the time, but they think about it for 24, 40.
You fucked up.
You may or may
Shit.
not know. Well, you may or may not know.
But
the truth.
let's go back. We enforce federal, state, and local law, and so there are federal laws and guidelines around how do you serve people with disabilities. That includes both physical and mental.
But I think I don't
So-
know. I-
Who
So
you most scared of?
so-
Who you most scared of? A motherfucker riding in a wheelchair or a motherfucker that's walking around here with a gun and got
I
no
think that
business
should
with
be-
that
That should
motherfucker?
be two separate.
Nah, they ain't no
I
two
think
separate.
I was gonna say,
That nigga fucked up.
I done seen a nigga in a wheelchair body slam a motherfucker. I know. Either way, you can be scared of their ass.
But it's
I'm just saying,
But
you
yeah,
went-
there-
I don't want to deal with no motherfucker, no mental unstable motherfucker, man. I'm
but
sorry.
you never know who is and who isn't.
No, you just sit down and conversate
And
with him.
they don't
That's
know
what's,
who is
that's
and who
what's the
isn't.
most.
But that's why
the
you
most
conversate with a
scary
motherfucker.
About mental illness.
That's why you conversate with a
Because
motherfucker.
Some of the most
So they talk to themselves.
sane-looking
Man, I'm
people,
talking. They do.
have been
They really
serial
do.
killers.
Yeah.
I knew
I got a
the
couple of
serial
them.
killer in Frostwood. We saw that Negro every
Every
day.
day.
He was the sweetest. He was the nicest.
And he out
Every
killing
day,
every
every
motherfucking
day.
body.
And he was killing prostitute bitches
Every
East Side.
day.
At the same time, he was shaking our hand and
That's
taking
crazy.
our motherfucking groceries to the motherfucking car.
Brazy like a
And this nigga was
motherfucker.
killing bitches.
Killing
So
motherfuckers.
you can't tell me that even the most sane acting person cannot be crazy as
don't
hell.
Yeah, no, you know he crazy. You once again, you conversate with that nigga, he gonna give you something that's gonna show. He gonna talk about something that's crazy.
Look, this dude
You
was-
talk to a motherfucker long enough, he gonna say some shit that's gonna have you like, hold up, this nigga here ain't playing with them all.
Look.
Real talk.
Look, we saw his ass every day. Every day we went to Shop and Save. He was there. Taking the carts, you know what I'm saying? Asking us, do he want us to take our shit to the
Oh, yeah.
nigga, thank you. And he
Yeah.
was killing
Killing
what I'm saying? So
motherfuckers.
you mental
Killing them
illness.
with kindness.
No, he was killing them with
That too.
knives. This nigga was killing
That
them with
too.
knives.
Because yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because he had to lure their ass away some type of way. I know he wasn't killing
They
their ass
was
just to Mr.
prostitutes.
Everybody.
He was just picking up the prostitutes on the east
That's
side.
what I'm saying. He was luring them away. Exactly. Shit.
Crazy as hell. Crazy as hell.
That's crazy.
I don't trust. That's why. I mean, they're in the same category because that can be just as detrimental to them, their mind, as anything. They should be in the same category.
I think I should become a counselor so I can talk to these crazy motherfuckers. All they need is this shit smacked out of
No,
them.
your ass.
You definitely thank you. Never mind.
I smacked the sense and back at all you motherfuckers. Hey, real talk.
We don't need your- we don't need none of your
You know, if I was a
bullshit.
counselor, I would be heads up 100.
Nah,
Flat out.
you'll have all
My
these crazy
conversation
motherfuckers
is
smoking weed and
1,000.
shit. Nah.
And that's what they doing. Had them doctors telling them to do that now.
Ladies and
Go smoke some
gentlemen,
weed, you'll be good.
In the meantime,
Real
the highly
talk.
anticipated, never regenerated.
Regenerate.
It's the time for this day in history of this day, December 19th. We'll tell you about the best, the worst, and you may or may not need to know
Real
about.
talk, man.
All right, let's see what we need to know.
1823.
1823.
Georgia passes the first U.S. state birth registration.
Birth registration.
You know who you belong to.
So now you gotta belong. Yeah, you know you got your. I don't know if they did your socials back then, but now.
So we probably got kids that belong to people who ain't even
Hold
under
on,
there.
what year was that?
That was 1823.
Straight up.
Okay, so it might have been some Negroes in there.
Before, yeah.
Straight up.
Before 19.
That's real talk.
1823, you might not know if they were born. They could be anonymous, but now I guess you're in the system.
I gotta have this all night. I'm taking shots.
Thank you.
They began a 9-day walk to get to Seattle to catch a train to Ottawa
To play a fucking hockey
in
game.
the Stanley Cup
Wow.
in 1905.
Oh,
So these hockey
man.
players hiked.
They hyped. Did they
9
win?
days.
Did they win? See, if I do all that, I
By
got
the
to
time you
win.
play in the game, you're tired. You know? I can't. How many?
Legs hurt.
What was they on? Was they on some good dope or something?
They was on
'Cause
something.
they-
The start
No,
9 days
that was
ahead
Daryl
time.
Strawberry.
They
You
were
said
Stanley
100.
Cup.
I
They
can't
want that
find
motherfucker bad.
106 round. It keep
1887.
They wanted that too bad, I think.
Jem, Jem, Jem Smith. 1918. I remember this when I was a kid. Oh, Ripley, Believe It or Not, was their first episode of that.
Oh, is that right?
Remember they had that on
Yeah,
TV?
Ripley, believe it, yeah. I
And
remember
what
that.
year? Yeah, but it's Jake Killoran and
Yeah,
Joe.
Jem Smith, 1887.
Go up.
1887.
Go up. Jem
This is a
Smith.
good one. 1920.
In the 70s, when he came out with one of his stand-up things about the 5 words you can't say on TV.
Yeah, I remember that,
That's
yeah.
the type of
George Carlin.
stuff
You do-
we deal
you
with
kinda
as
resemble
far
him
as
a
being
little
able to
bit.
say.
Yeah,
With the
very
beard
little,
and everything.
very little.
You got the mustache and the beard. And
Hell no.
bald head.
And closer to
You ain't lying,
Gallagher.
bro.
Gallagher.
You ain't lying.
So
Him.
I was talking about this earlier. 1958 was the first radio broadcast from space. George Eisenhower.
That shit was fake. My mom said that
1958?
shit didn't happen.
You say
My mama
1958?
said that shit was
Your mom
fake.
was
that
in
shit.
space?
No, she said that shit didn't happen. That shit was they was filming that shit
And
from
lied.
a thing in Hollywood.
I
Said
can
the
believe
same
that.
thing about the first
I
man on
believe
the moon,
that.
too.
I believe that
They
shit.
said it wasn't no air, but the flag.
I
was
believe
set.
that shit.
He did get up there, but the equipment wasn't working, so they just reenacted it.
Oh no, that ain't real then.
Fuck my
I'm
It's not
sorry.
live
That,
broadcast.
that ain't real then.
It's a bootleg.
That shit's a boot. You right.
First
Straight
bootleg
bootleg.
broadcast.
So those of you who are history buffs,
Here we go.
O.J.
Charles.
Simpson did a movie about a fake lunar landing.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, yeah. When he
See,
it was,
Deuce
it
was
was,
the man,
it was
shit.
4 of them. He was one of 4, and they filmed it all in. I want to say in Vegas.
Yeah.
Somewhere. No, it was outside of that because they had to do the part of it was the mountains.
Yep.
And so yeah,
That's right.
it's an interesting movie.
See, my
But yeah,
mother,
my great grandmother said that.
my mother
they
believed-
ain't gone nowhere.
she was.
So they ain't going nowhere, and I
because
believe her.
they watched
Shit,
it. You
they
know what I'm
ain't
saying?
slow.
They was sitting at home watching it.
They ain't
and
slow.
I'm telling you, my mama, she believed in all of it. You know what I'm
Straight
saying?
up.
You know, everybody didn't die
Okay,
for
so we
real.
got it.
Elvis death, and you know, she believed in all that, and she told us.
So you're saying Tupac
way.
and Elvis are hanging out together?
He's a silly
Her
motherfucker.
dad's a motherfucker. I'm sorry.
He's a silly motherfucker.
I saw
1971. Remember that movie Clockwork Orange?
Clockwork
That was
Orange.
X-rated movie. Stanley Kubrick. Yeah, but it came out in
I thought they
1971.
ended up getting into an R.
Well, none of y'all born.
Yeah, because it's not
I would.
X-rated. I seen
Well, not
X-rated
now.
I
movies.
was too. They
That
was.
shit
I
ain't-
would.
I've seen plenty of them.
I
I've seen her
seen
playlist.
X-rated. That
I've
shit is
seen her
not
playlist.
X-rated. So I mean,
It was back
Back
in the
then and now.
70s.
even in the 70s.
But remember-
I seen X-rated movies from the 70s that was not X-rated.
But remember,
There's some
part
black
of the
and white
category
movies.
of X-rated was explicit violence.
Right.
Okay. Back
That's why.
back
yeah.
then, the
Yeah, it
violence.
wasn't about sex, it was about
Right.
violence.
Okay.
Eat some of your chips.
Because when we
You ate them
watched
all
it in college,
them
and they were
bad.
like it was the X-ray. It was they talked about how it was.
He
We
gave me a
watched this
bottle
movie.
full
I'm
of
like,
air.
Oh, you were hanging out in the theater with Pee Wee Herman.
Oh,
weren't you?
hell
I
no.
would have been. Pee-wee would have been my boy.
Pee Wee
Shit.
Herman were
He
hanging
I
gave
ain't
me a
mad at
bottle full of
Pee-wee. If
motherfucking
you
earth.
at an X-rated movie theater, you supposed to touch
Mother
yourself.
gone.
What the
He's
fuck
been
y'all
over all
mean? That was
day.
that's crazy.
So you can touch yourself, but if you touch other people, it's sexual harassment.
Everybody should be touching themselves if you're in an X-rated movie theater.
Oh,
what the
yeah.
fuck?
Hey, you're touching yourself. to yourself.
If he wasn't touching himself, then I would be wary.
So that's why the seats
That's
are
the
plastic.
motherfucker that's gonna blow it up. The person who ain't touching themselves, you be worried about them. But if you're in an X-rated movie theater
Or waiting on somebody to touch them.
or waiting on somebody else, I mean,
hell.
that's all it should be.
I don't want to touch
Even as a
myself.
kid, when they
You touch
arrested him
yourself, you
and
go
talked bad
blind.
about him, I was
That's
like,
what
what the fuck is
grandma
wrong? Ain't he supposed to be touching himself? But if they ain't leaving and we ain't leaving, I ain't doing that. But if I start seeing a lot of them leaving, like,
Say, you know, there's something going on, man.
they know
I
something.
told you, I got my money stashed away because when they get on that boat and leave this motherfucker, I'm going. I've already told y'all, I've been saying y'all money, boy.
Too many of
These
them
motherfuckers
start
know something we don't know.
I was telling
I
Charles
ain't
Straight
saying
up.
shit. I'm riding with you.
I'm getting on that motherfucking boat.
I
No
was telling
fake.
Charles about that movie, the 100 or whatever.
Yeah,
It's on Netflix, but yeah, they
Yeah, I watched
basically.
it all. I watched them
Oh,
all the
let's-
seasons.
you mess up the earth, and I let's just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they trying to do now. That's what they trying to do
That's
now.
why they privatized.
Yeah.
That's why they did that to space travel.
Yeah, right.
Because they know
I
that
bet
we
land on
don't,
Mars
that the
is pretty
country
cheap,
don't
though,
have the money
right
to
now.
really set up some shit just in case shit really go wrong
I'll
here.
buy a couple acres on Mars.
But
You
other
wanna have fun,
private
something? Let's
companies
go.
do. I'm telling you.
You gonna burn her.
I
No,
wouldn't-
burn
we
no
wouldn't-
further. It's cold.
We wouldn't be able to
Mars
go to
is
Mars.
further
I like
away.
cold.
It's cold.
We wouldn't be able to
It's
go to
colder
Mars.
So
on
you
Mars.
like
Go
cold?
to Minnesota. What the?
I hate Minnesota. It's too cold.
It's too cold.
Moving right
You can
along.
Ain't
do
shit,
Northern- you can
ain't
do
shit
Northern
right.
Missouri, but
Ain't,
you
shit-
can't
ain't
do-
shit right for her. Ain't shit
Speaking
right
of
for her.
speaking of Darryl Strawberry,
They just like when
your
he's a
boy,
woman.
1991 New York Yankee pitcher Steve Howe was
Look at
arrested
me.
for cocaine possession.
Oh yeah, like all
remember
the
that.
like all the New
That
York
was
Mets,
that big.
Daryl Strawberry and Dwight
kill
Gooden
you.
and all them was getting high every day.
Oh, they was high as a motherfucker.
They was getting high every day for games.
And Keith
Best
Hernandez.
friend.
And Keith Hernandez, you
Former
so
Cardinal.
right.
Which is why
You ain't gonna kill me, motherfucker.
A lot of them Cardinals.
they figured it out and went, you got to go.
A lot of them Cardinals was high as hell.
Right
Just
up.
call me a motherfucker.
I know when we seen them in person, their eyes was red. You know what I'm saying? Just like my uncle. So I
Moving right
knew.
along. We got a couple more good ones.
Because I almost jumped across this
No,
table
you
and
didn't.
snatched that motherfucking little thing.
No,
I
you
did.
Your
you
boy,
did.
moving right along. Your boy himself, Mr. Saxophone, Bill Clinton.
Okay.
That was my dog.
They were trying to evict him in 1998. This day in 1988, they were going to move forward with the trial.
Did he?
Oh, him
was
boy.
this
Little
the day?
extracurricular. He was
I
off the
did
clock.
not
He was
have
off the
Was this
sexual
the
relations
day?
with
with
the-
He
No,
was
no,
in the Oval Office. He wasn't off the couch.
That's the
He was
motherfucking
talking,
pimp.
he was
the cock or
talking,
off
I
the
think,
clock?
to
He was
the
on the
Russian
clock when
ambassador
somebody
or
said
somebody
he was on the
important.
phone and she
How
was
could I be
under,
mad at a man getting
She was
hit?
under
Hey.
the decimal.
I could never be mad at a man that gets
Clint
hit.
was
under
the
that.
Clint was the man.
But it was
I
a
could never be
setup.
mad at a man that's getting some head.
And
I'm
it
sorry.
was a setup from the start because no woman keeps soil clothes.
Exactly. That's
We
nasty.
gonna wash
She nasty
the
as a
first
motherfucker
thing
for
a
that.
bitch gonna do
She's
when
super
she walks
nasty.
to the house.
She gonna,
She
yeah.
wash that shit off of her clothes.
Yeah.
She was setting
That was
him
a
up
setup
from the
from the beginning.
motherfucking
I
jump.
know.
Bill should he need to go find out what's going on behind that
I
dig.
did
Turned her
when I was a
down.
kid too. I
He
was
need to
like,
go.
ew,
He
she
need to
kept
find
it
out. He
closed.
need to find out what's going on with that dig.
Oh, Monica. So yeah. So you cannot. She cannot.
Cause she wasn't
Bill was
looking.
the
She ain't look like shit for her for him to go do it with.
Get a job. So
She wasn't looking like shit neither.
She was on her way to the
Bill,
top.
I'm gonna have somebody under my
She was an
office. I'm gonna have
intern.
somebody under my
She was an
desk
intern.
too.
She wasn't looking like shit neither. Looking so
She
bad.
was interning in this man's kids into her face.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Who said that? All right. Anyway,
That
moving
boy
right
terrible
along.
as a motherfucker, boy.
This one's okay. Not 2000.
what
We
it
got
do.
two more. Almost done. 2016. At least
It tastes good
48
out the
people
cup.
died drinking
Y'all drunk
bath
as a motherfucker.
lotion.
Drinking
Ew.
bath
Did you
lotion.
say this?
This bitch is crazy.
Get your dog,
But-
dog.
Oh, Urkus. Urkus.
Urkus.
Exactly.
motherfucker
There you go, Urkus.
Siberia. These guys were
There you
drinking
go.
lotion.
Urkus Siberia.
See, I don't know if it's
They
just
were
me.
drinking bath lotion.
But
I
if
thought
you
it had
die
alcohol
of
in
some
it.
stupid shit that you do, I'm sorry, I don't feel.
You say you don't feel
that
sorry for him
You
because you
drink
knew
your
better than that.
lotion?
If you
You
doing
knew better
some
than that.
stupid
Yeah,
shit,
you
you
know
know what I'm
better
saying?
than
I'm
that.
sorry.
You drinking
I
lotion
feel
and
sorry
shit
for
like
your
that, damn
family, but
real.
for your dead ass, I'm mad
Nah,
at you anyway.
because you're going to be talking bad about his ass in the long
So what
run.
about so you feel about the people who drank the Kool-Aid?
At the top
Yeah,
five.
Jim
They
Jones.
was
Dumb as a
fuck.
motherfucker.
No,
Jim Jones.
They was done for letting him
Yeah.
get around in the
Was
first
the
place.
ones that
Jim
were
Jones.
made to do it by gunpoint.
Well,
No, the
and
children, that
and
was
the
the
first,
children
very
that
first
was
person who did it.
Exactly.
The very
Once
first
that-
person who did it was one of the ones that's like, oh, I love this dude.
And that
How
nigga
did
dead.
they
Once
He
they
dropped
killed
dead.
over, it'd be time
Now
out
the
for me.
people
me
after
restate my
then,
actions.
they would have had to shoot a bitch like me. But don't. I mean, the people
But
who
yeah,
were
no,
forced.
I know there are a bunch of.
He was
Stop it.
related to Crazy John.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been
This has been-
conversation of
Hey, we got
Tuesday
A lovely day, a lovely day,
I
lovely
don't
day.
like hanging with them because they be tripping.
Look, if y'all get some of these things
And now
that
back.
Gina gave us,
Now back to regularly scheduled
We
broadcast.
ain't never on our regular
Morning.
schedule.
Good morning to you.
you done?
I think we're wrapped. I think we're wrapped.
Goddamn
We got a
it.
couple
It's over.
more,
All right,
We
let's
had a
do it.
lovely day.
we got a
Show was lovely.
we have a special guest.
OG
Charles.
gave us
special
a
Special
game.
guest Charles Bryson.
Yeah, I need to know what it's
OG
like.
gave us a game, though. I had some motherfuckers my head gone.
So I don't know if we ever got to our number 4, but you cover a variety of reasons, and you have you said a 4-member team,
Yes.
correct? And you guys kind of work together and figure out, I guess, prioritize the problems.
No, we just as they come in. So whenever somebody has a claim of discrimination, whenever it comes in, we start immediately working on a situation.
Okay.
Okay, right on.
Two-hand salute. That's how you get down to business.
In
Take
the
care of
city.
business.
You got a radio show too. Let's tell people about that.
I got a podcast every
Good afternoon.
Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, we're gonna be talking about Kwanzaa. So
Kwanzaa.
from 9 to 10, and
Happy
then
Kwanzaa.
we'll throw it into Facebook Live and put it on YouTube. And, it's
I'm trying to
about-
be
it's
some
about
ladies,
Kwanzaa. And then on
Santa Claus.
January 5th, I think. No.
He won't go
So
on
the
the phone.
29th of December, we're gonna do showing reparations.
Reparations.
I mean, how do they find out?
Do I get my 40 acres and a mule?
What's the site they go
No.
on?
You don't want a mule, by the way.
God damn.
It's just it's
We'll never get that
said
shit.
no.
It's STO Crea.
If we didn't get it with a black
ST
president,
But if you can go,
we
you can
would
go through
never
my
get
Facebook
that
page
shit.
at Charles Bryson, and it'll lead you there.
Say straight to it,
and then,
huh?
yeah, and then so, I mean, I'm really excited about the one on reparations coming up. Then we got one that's going to be dealing with how to communicate with the black community. I believe that's on the 12th.
Oh.
Or no, 5th. Well, we're really
January.
going to talk about how, January 5th. How do you have that how do you have conversations with folks? How do you inform people? How do you have not only that you're informing them, but the response back?
Yeah,
So we're going to
buddy.
be talking about that on the
Ah,
5th.
thank you very much.
Follow through. That's a
Thank
big
you
thing.
very much,
Like you
Lord.
said, people bring it to your attention, and then they just kind of
How do you
fade
follow
out.
up? How do you get quality information to people that they won't just say, "Oh, that's just them talking," you know? So we're gonna be looking
Where
at
it means
the-
something.
All day
so
long.
We're looking at how a particular group is
Yes,
trying to do
indeed.
that, and that's on the 5th.
All
And I
right.
think the 12th is solar energy.
Reparations. I want my 40 acres and a motherfucking mule.
Well, do you really want 40 acres?
Nah, I
That's a
say
lot of
that.
grass to cut.
I do.
I'll take it. I'll take it because I'll make something happen with it.
I got a lot of shit I need
I'll
to
make
do.
something happen with it.
Now I don't want
I'll
the
make
mule.
something
You
happen.
keep that motherfucker. But I do want,
want my
40
acres.
acres. If I had 40 acres of land,
We could
there
build
ain't
a
no telling.
warehouse.
Fuck a warehouse. I would build. I would leave my kids.
As a slave, kind of always has a place to go back to, and they can't catch them because you didn't know
They
which
can
one
run.
it was.
They can run.
So they needed folks who couldn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, and we couldn't go when we got here. We couldn't go nowhere.
Right.
Well, they ain't try to go nowhere. At least that's what I feel
The
like.
first generations did.
I mean,
But
if you gonna
once
sit there and
you
let a
born
motherfucker
and
whip
born
you
and
and
born
all
in
that
it,
shit,
they
and you ain't gonna do
didn't
nothing
let
about
them- didn't let it
I'm
happen.
just
But
saying,
you
you
have
allow
to think
that
about
shit.
it. Once more after the first couple of generations of these slaves, they used to it. They don't know what freedom is. They don't know to run. They don't know that it's wrong. They just think that's
Hey, I
everyday
think the man up above,
life.
he ain't put me back then, because I wouldn't have lasted.
But also remember,
A whole lot of people
how
didn't
many?
I wouldn't have lasted.
Because that was their only quote unquote job. That was
Yeah.
the only life that they had.
Right. When that's all
why
you know,
so
that's what
many
you do.
stayed on the plantation because
Mm-hmm.
there was no place for them to go.
Even when they was
hadn't even
free,
thought-
most
even
of
when they was free,
my people
stayed
They were sharecroppers before they decided to come to America. So they stayed in the
fucked up,
same
dude.
motherfucking
And they
place that
share-
they had been beat, killed.
That's called
that-
that's called penning what they call when you go to penitentiary so much.
Institutionalized.
Institutionalized. There you go. No faking.
That's what it said. It said the
You
homeless
think they took
people.
the easy right out? They ain't want to work. They ain't want to hustle and get away for real.
No, I mean,
I'm
some
saying,
of them
as
didn't
the
know any better than
generations
those
went,
that did. Where were they gonna go?
That
What
was
were they
their
gonna do?
regular life. They didn't know what freedom was.
That's just
now.
like-
Once they found out,
Yeah.
that's when they tried to go. But as the generations went, you didn't know about Africa. You ain't know. Most motherfucking slaves didn't know shit about Africa. Africa because who telling you, your master?
Yeah, I'm gonna send your ass back to Africa.
They tried before then. It was people who before the generations,
Real
the first
talk.
people who tried to come.
Oh,
Amistad
no
was the
Africans.
first generation of people who was brought over here. They took over the whole boat and killed everybody. You know what I'm saying? They tried, but once they started having kids, and then they kids, they don't know what freedom is. So they don't know to run. You know what I'm saying? When
That's
people
what they
talk
know.
about, oh, they chose. No, the
It's-
fuck they didn't. They
like
didn't know.
Right. It's like abuse, period. When you grow up in something, when you're born into something and you grow up and that's all you see, that's your life.
That's
so
your
you
life.
don't know no different.
But you also know there's two
Poverty
sides
is
of this.
different than slavery.
Either I get beat, but to do so I may stay alive.
Yeah, most definitely.
So
It's all about
they knew virtually
It's all
every
about
day.
survival.
They knew virtually every day.
They
all about
had to
survival.
survive, so they go lay down and
what
have
do.
this motherfucker's kids, cause they still alive.
Why you
they
think-
gon' let you take their kids because they're still alive.
Right.
And I thank them for their struggle, for them being whatever people think may be dumb, maybe this, maybe that, but because of them, I'm here.
Yeah, most definitely. That's why our generation didn't go before theirs, because this shit'd be totally
Because
different.
it would.
It'd be totally
but
different.
we have. They gave us that right to
I'll be
know
damned if
the
I let a
difference.
motherfucker spray me with a water hose. I'll be damned if I let a motherfucker stick a dog on me.
Speaking of
I'm
water,
sorry.
Speaking of water hose.
Real talk.
Speaking of
Hey, well,
Joke of the day. We supposed to did that motherfucker about an hour ago.
what time is it? All I'm gonna do is get drunk.
Yeah.
We told you about that country talk about that transport shit.
I'm glad to see him some cool shit.
You tired of that
Cause
shit?
I'm a cool motherfucker. I need some cool shit.
I thought you was smile,
I can
bitch.
still dance to
Smile,
it.
bitch. Come
I
on.
can still dance to it.
You can't dance at all.
So today I want to do two Christmas. I want to do two Christmas jokes with y'all because I love
She
these.
fucked up, boy.
Okay.
I can groove. Shit.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
All right.
I
So
need
the
some
first
theme
one.
music.
Man, you
Y'all
right.
ready with your groovy asses?
We ready.
Groove,
All right.
groove.
So why is Santa always so jolly?
He me.
Hey, Mr. Claus sucked his candy
He
cane.
me. He me. I'm sorry. I'm always jolly.
candy cane.
Santa Claus is me.
What?
Because he knows where all the naughty girls live.
That's me. That's me. I know all the naughty
The
girls.
second
there.
one. What do snowmen use to make snow babies?
No babies.
Snowballs.
Snow fucking balls.
Snowballs.
That was a good. I'm mad at Santa Claus.
Hell no. Don't be mad at Santa
Why
Claus.
be mad at
He
Santa
do what he
Claus?
do.
Because he want to know where the hoes at.
He do what he do. Santa Claus do what he do. Shit, real talk.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have special
It was a
guest
beautiful
Charles
day.
Bryson in the building.
Yeah.
I think we tried to cover everything. Anything else? Any
No, we
final
don't need to
thoughts
cover
you
shit.
got, or,
We ain't got nothing else to cover.
This guy's got an appointment.
We ain't got nothing else to cover.
He's got to speak to his
I'm
orthodontist.
sorry.
We
We ain't got
just
nothing
shine
else
up
to
his
cover,
teeth.
man.
We just hope everybody
Real
has a
talk.
good 2021 because
Yes.
2020 has been hell.
Yes,
Most
it
definitely.
has.
But if you reach a point where in your job or at your housing situation and you live in the city,
Excuse me. I was gonna play this
you live in the
I'm gonna
county,
say,
that's so well.
see, he just
got
did it
thrown
again.
in.
He just did it again.
Just did.
He just made us feel bad in the county.
y'all should if you ain't got
Yeah.
nothing,
See,
you ain't
that's-
got nothing going
But
on.
see, you need to come out 3 times that.
I would. Let me give
Double
you
his
my
salary.
budget. You
Yeah,
can
yeah, we need to go talk to somebody. They stealing the money everywhere else. They might well give it to you. Say.
church.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Over there by where Annie Malone is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We used to go over there every year. I mean, growing up, you know, my mom was militant black, so she was gonna take us to any.
20-25
Black
years.
Panther.
Yeah, it's been almost all my life down there. So it's surprising that St. Louis City, it took so long for it to be a holiday because it's always been something that was celebrated and packed.
My answer to that, if African Americans never pushed for it to be a holiday until now, and that's part of the problem.
Say it sad.
We don't
Oh, most people
Say it
didn't.
we
sad.
don't do that.
Look,
Super Bowl's a holiday.
Say it sad.
Why can't, I mean,
I have brought up Juneteenth forever, and
Stop
people
being
don't know what it
frustrated.
is.
Nah, fuck with child. I missed my lottery number. That was $950. Fuck y'all.
Hell no. Hell no. Lottery, she didn't win, so it don't matter. It don't even
The
matter.
store I went to play
The
it in.
store
The store
didn't
didn't play.
They ain't played.
They got that alcohol though.
I know y'all did.
Right, I got this bitch ass alcohol and it's my $950.
Y'all made sure y'all got that shit. Then y'all
That's why
got
they
that.
used to give you free drinks at the casino. They get you liquored up.
Oh,
and
Oh, they
you spend more
sure
money.
Yeah,
did.
because they want you to spend your bread
And
up.
I'm not a
You
gambler.
more
so
willingly
I done
go in
drank
your
for
pocket
the
and
best
take
of the
care of everything you got
gamblers.
of it.
I done
Goddamn
drank
me, no
all
faking.
night for 'em. Oh, you don't want that?
I was like, give me and get two.
I'm
That's a
telling you,
shame.
especially Las Vegas. That's what I went
Girl,
for.
I was like-
I sat down there. My friend was gambling. I was like, bitch,
Everybody was
thank
asleep when
you
I
for
went in
gambling.
January.
I'm
Everybody
so
was asleep. I was
thankful.
still down there drinking, put my
Yep.
quarters in. I did want a little money though. I was
No,
like,
they
They
give
like,
me money to
give me some
gamble.
more
It would
drink.
go in my pocket.
no, I was drinking my drinks and put my
Okay,
money in it.
okay, that's enough now.
No, hey, we're not gonna have that out of you.
That's enough now, y'all.
This guy's got an
Let's go.
appointment. This guy's got
Let's
an
All right,
go,
y'all.
y'all.
So
Yeah,
it's
he's
time to
showing
go.
out.
No,
That's-
I mean it's damn near 2:30.
That's what happened.
That's why it's called overtime, sir. You didn't read the.
Hell
you didn't read
that.
the- you didn't read the
It's
sign
down there
up there.
2:30, y'all.
He's showing.
Y'all want to keep talking and shit.
Why? You
I want to get
Into
half of
our
one
news.
thing.
We didn't get into
So
our
fair.
news
Why you didn't do that
events,
when you
sir.
got hurt?
Cause I'm doing the good boy shit. I
Okay.
ain't get high today.
Good boy.
Yeah, I'm being a good boy today.
Oh, that was good.
What about
See?
that sugar?
You see, I-
What
look.
about that
You got your
sugar?
little.
All I did was smoked on this.
You got sugar in there, sir?
Yeah, he got a new girlfriend, so he acting funny.
I ain't got no new girlfriend. Don't do that. I'm still looking. I'm looking for the most available lady out there who's doing something with
He's
herself.
got a date with some spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
That nigga spill on his shirt.
Hey, if I do
think
that,
he already
I'm going
ate it.
straight home,
I think
B.
he already ate the
I'm going
spaghetti.
straight home, B. No faking.
All right, I guess we gotta go.
All right,
So
y'all.
we didn't get into our
Salute.
news today, but we had an interesting conversation. Is
We got
interesting
into
the
our
word? How do you
news.
describe the conversation?
Interesting would be it.
Very interesting.
We got into our news. What you keep saying that for?
I said we did not get into our news today.
We ain't need the motherfucking
We
news.
ran out of time.
Yeah,
we
that's
sure
we
didn't.
talk about some real shit
Rest
today.
in peace to Debo.
Devo,
Oh yeah,
Tiny
yeah,
We talked. We
yeah.
touched it. We do.
Yeah, Tiny Lister.
We had the
Tiny
Tiny
Lister.
Village. We
He gonna
touched
cry
it
when he
too.
get in the car.
He gonna cry when he get in the car.
We got that versus
We
battle.
gonna
Why
cry
you
when he
come
get
around
in the
here messing
car.
with these people?
Exactly.
We got that
Straight
versus
up.
battle. That's today, right?
Is that right?
Yeah, the
versus
versus.
battle.
I think it's today. E40 and Too Short.
Oh,
E40
that's
finna
right.
I'm sorry, y'all, but E40 finna eat Too Short.
I think not, Bricks.
I
I
think
think's not.
Too Short.
We talking about short
dog.
dog.
Fuck with E40.
Bricks.
E40 has been
Bricks.
relevant for almost 30
Bricks, are you fucking?
motherfucking years.
Are you for real, Bricks?
Oh, Too Short got his bitch.
E40
That's
ain't got
all that
enough.
nigga got.
He ain't got enough music
That's
for short
all
dog.
he got is bitch.
He ain't got enough music for short dog. I'm sorry.
E40 has been relevant for 30 motherfucking
And Too Short
years.
been relevant
He
for
been
50.
No,
You
he
got
don't.
Charles. Too Short.
Too Short do not sell
Brick,
records
short
like
dog.
he used to.
Short dog. No, he do. Short dog.
really
White
don't.
people buy short dog.
He ain't making them.
No, I'm talking about
E40
when he was dropping, short dog was selling to white people.
Yeah, but E40 do
E40
too.
never sold
Yes,
to
he
white
does.
people.
Yes, he does.
No, E40 don't sell to white people.
E40
Short
has
dog
a
sell to white
following.
people.
E40 has these young white
No,
kids
Brick.
buying the shit. All the kids
No,
that give me the
Brick.
pen, give me the, all that bullshit. Them, the skater
Short dog
chicks.
got the. If you ask any white community, they know short dog over E40.
No, them
I bet
skater
anybody.
people know E40.
No.
I'm telling you,
No.
all from that
No.
going
No.
crazy shit, that doo-doo-doo
Bricks,
bullshit.
you forgot. I stayed in St. Charles County in the early '90s, and when I went to them white kids
In the
parties,
early
you know who I heard?
You talking about
I heard
the
NWA
early
and Short
90s,
Dog.
But that's
No
the early
E40.
90s.
No, I'm talking about going
I'm-
through anyway.
I'm talking about
E40 didn't come out till like
2000
'95 and
motherfucking
'96.
I'm talking about right
Debate about it.
That's right. All right,
90,
anyway, we're out of time. We gotta
now. So
go.
92 years old, he can get drunk when he want to.
Wait, we ain't.
Tony, I didn't know he
I
was
had
the
the number
Chicago
in my
White
hand. I
Sox
can play it,
manager.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Last couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He caught a DWI right after he got hired.
He worked for who?
Celebration.
Chicago White Sox.
Fuck you. That's why you caught the shit.
Yeah.
No,
He should have never left
You
us in
was
the first
supposed
place.
to have retired and
So
been
it is.
done with baseball. So for you to go there,
Yeah.
He was drinking and
nigga,
driving
that's
in
what
Florida,
you
too.
get.
Yeah, no
You know,
favor.
I'm
Fell asleep in the
No,
window
you know
in
what's
Florida.
called did us the same way too when he left the Rams and went to the Kansas City Chiefs too.
Dick
Vermeil.
Yeah.
Dick Vermeil
And
did
I
the
don't
same
fuck with
way.
him neither.
Straight up.
Yeah, I think Charles and Georgia Frontier were friends back in the day.
You leave St. Louis, I don't
See, I
fuck
wish he
with
about
him.
was. See, he got that bread somewhere then in
Rocky.
Georgia Frontier was some
Anyway,
cool.
we gotta go.
Okay, so this Bricks Montana. You can catch me on everything. Bricks Montana from Facebook, Twitter,
everything,
Instagram.
You gotta be more specific.
Bricks Montana.
Bricks Montana. All day long.
Jenny Gina Way, Facebook, Instagram.
She all that drunk as well.
W3EW.
Yes,
She drunk as
W3EW, Facebook, Instagram. Still taking donations. That's W3 MyCityMyMusic 2019. at Cash App.
Oh, you giving Cash App down. You giving our Cash App name and everything.
Charles Bryson, Civil Rights Enforcement Agency. You can catch me on the city's website. And also I have a Facebook page.
All day.
And you can catch him on Tuesday mornings.
He do his
From
Crea
9
show,
to
right?
9
All day
a.m.
long.
Central Time. Check him out Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
got?
Mr. _ Boss Kick
There
Back
we go.
Beat is Instagram. Mr. No Quitting on Facebook. And 1, 2, 3. Kinlockville. King shit dropping goddamn December 25th. Word go get it.
Yeah. We got Underground Flavors rapping for us. 10 a.m. Central Time. Check her out.
She'll save you from losing your house too, I think.
Yeah.
Say we
You
getting
gotta find
shit.
Voice of the Voiceless. We got the Playground TV.
Doc,
We have.
when we having a Playground TV again, Doc?
Hey, it's coming. Season 2 coming up real soon.
You gotta get
So
Charles.
what?
You gotta get Charles on
Nah,
the
he gonna get in
after-hour show.
trouble.
For what? An after-hour show.
You don't want to go there. OG, you'll get in trouble. Your wife gonna get you. Doc, this is for me. This for only single peoples. It's only single peoples. No women are allowed. Like how y'all be doing me.
Baby, I'm in
No
on
women
the,
are allowed.
After dark.
Only the ones
They
that's
love
gonna
me
be
on
there.
After dark.
Only the ones that's gonna be there.
But he ain't
You
saying
can't be
that.
there.
What
He
you
like,
got?
No,
They love me on After Dark, boo boo.
Hey, no, you can't become.
Why you don't want me
Because
to
you
come?
don't allow me to come to your events. Flat out.
That's not your event,
Flat
though,
out.
boo.
And what? Hey, I should be able to come to all events. No faking. Real talk. So throw another event, invite Big Phil, and the party really will bounce.
You petty.
I ain't petty. You can't come to me and Doc Playground out the dark.
Excuse me, sir.
Fuck you, man.
Excuse me, sir. I got a 2:30 appointment.
You can't come play. You can't
Doc
come to
love
me,
me
Doc.
out the
No. You see, you can't use your friendship with Doc to get in this party. That don't work like that.
He invites me.
No,
Oh,
no,
man.
no.
We'll talk that about later. Mine's Justin Kicking. This is My City, My Music.
You ain't coming, Gina.
We'll see
I'm
y'all
sorry.
next week.
Yes.
Happy
And we
motherfucking
out of
holidays.
here. Smooches.
Merry Christmas.
Gina is not gonna
What?
Little left, where have you been?
Naughty.
Hey, that's right. Oh, the naughty you. Keeping me from my rounds. I'm late as it is. Now stay put. Don't go anywhere till I get back. Understand me?
Nice.